Went to a press conference yesterday and saw Liam Coen straight up, looked him right in his eye, and the concerns I had are gone. And I'll tell you why on Locked On Jaguars.
You are Locked On Jaguars, your daily Jacksonville Jaguars podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm Tony Wiggins, the host of the Locked On Jaguars podcast. And let me tell you what we got for you today. Why my concern has decreased. The first half of the show, I'm going to tell you what was worrying me in the first place, man. All right, I'll get to it right now. I'll let you know. Your boy was a little concerned, a little worried. But I did not bring that negative energy to this podcast because you know what? The Jacksonville Jaguars fan base and the Locked On Jaguars listeners over the years, well, they've been through a lot of losing, right? And after going 13-4 last year, I wanted to ride that good wave of positivity as long as I could. So I didn't bring my trash and my business and my little concerns that start turning over in my mind about this football team moving forward. Because I talk so much about not having baggage. And I tell fans all the time, man, you can't worry about that. They don't have nothing to do with this season. This is not the same coaches, even though it's the same uniform. It's not the same people. And any and everybody, I know Jaguar fans that gave up on the team a couple of years ago. They came back to the team now. And a couple of them came back and still cornered me. It was just 2 or 3 days ago that one of my friends came by my house and said, look, man, I ain't really watched that much, and I'm glad they're winning. But is this for real? Is this going to last? Or is it just going to be like 2017 or those other 2 years where they were good and then all of a sudden they went away again? And I said, no, I think it's good. But I didn't know that. I'm going to be honest with y'all. And I still don't. None of us do. It has to manifest itself on the field, but the part of this that I'm being transparent about is I was worried about something. And what I was worried about is putting too much on 13-4. How do you approach a new year? Did we allow them to eat their dessert first? And I'm not saying it's easy to win 13 games, but y'all know the fact that the coach stood in the locker room at some point and said, we ain't apologizing for wins. I don't care how ugly they are. Tells you that they won some games now last year, maybe not down at the end. All of those games, they were beating teams pretty solidly, but at some point they won some games. You saw them struggle against Arizona and the Raiders. The Raiders are picking first and Arizona's picking third. And at some point, and I know it's the NFL, but at some point you're like, so, and then they lose the first game to Buffalo after a 13-win season. And then you go, all right, are they playing up and down to their competition? Is that a characteristic or a trait that they need to get rid of? And though they went 13-4 and there's a lot of enthusiasm and all of our assistant coaches seemed like they were getting job interviews and we lost free agents for the first time in a long time. Guys went and signed with other teams. And the fact that they only signed really one guy, and that's Chris Rodriguez Jr. in free agency, are we holding steadfast too much? And I was concerned that the team would, even if they're trying not to, Liam said it, we might be better next year. We might be better next year, but not have the same record. Said that from the league meetings. And they're talking about, look, none of this stuff last year means anything. You got to learn from it. Garbage in, garbage out. It's the next play, the next season. All of the good stuff that Liam Coen has said, all of the things that we have talked about ad nauseum. I was really, really concerned that, okay, it sounds good, but these are human beings and they're young human beings. And maybe they come into this situation feeling like we did it last year, we can do it this year without actually, like they say, it ain't no fun when the rabbit has the gun. It's like, okay, you're not now, you're marked, dude. You're not just out here hunting people. They see you coming now. And there's this old thing that anybody can handle success when all they've ever done is fail, but now can you sustain it? Can you handle being successful? Success came to a franchise that hadn't done much at all, that people weren't expecting to do anything. Well, all of that changes. The way people see you, the way they prepare for you, it all changes now. You ain't just a little engine that could anymore. You actually got it done, and now people see you as a credible threat. How do you respond to it? I'm going to give you an idea of how my personal concern was alleviated. Look Liam in his eyes yesterday. I saw an intense dude that's ready to get after it. I would suspect, too, that training camp may look and sound just a little bit different this year because ain't nobody feeling anybody out. They know what to expect. They know who they are, and they know where they're trying to go. I think it'll be a little tougher this year than it was last year, or maybe it'll be the same, but visibly it'll seem tougher for us than it seemed last year. Last year looked like a lot of fun. I'm sure they're going to have fun this year too, but trust me, I believe Liam Coen is going to be a little bit more intense as a coach, and I'll tell you why here on Locked On Jaguars. All right, today's show is sponsored and brought to you by TurboTax. It's tax time, but for a lot of us, the old way of doing taxes is a lot. Trying to book an appointment that's not the most convenient, sitting in a waiting room with a stack of papers, emailing back and forth and wondering if they really get your situation, especially like me, self-employed for 33 years doing a Schedule C, it can get rough. But this year, you're getting a major upgrade into it. TurboTax now has in-person locations nationwide. You can meet face-to-face with a real tax expert, and your documents get uploaded straight to your TurboTax app on the spot. Just like that, you're done. Your TurboTax expert works to get you every dollar you deserve while you get real-time notifications as you go about your day. It's the relief of walking in and meeting a real person and walking out knowing your taxes are being handled right. Head to turbotax.com/local to find a store near you and book your appointment. And today's show is sponsored and brought to you by Indeed. That's right, man. Indeed sponsored jobs. If you have workplace chaos, deadlines stacking up, and inbox overflowing, the only one position you have to fill is still sitting there open when the pressure's on and you need the right hire. This is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed, sponsored jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for: skills, experience, location. So you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute that it takes me to finish reading this, there are 27 hires. There will be 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support your show or our show by saying you heard all about Indeed on this show. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. You guys can tap into the Locked On Everydayers Club. That's right. The Everydayers Club is available for you for every podcast here on our network that you listen to, whether it's Locked On Jaguars, Locked On NFL. You can actually do both. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to our merchandise, our Locked On branded merchandise that you can't get anywhere else unless you're a member of the Everydayers Club. And here's the important thing. You also get ad-free shows that go out to our audio platform partners. Make sure you tap in to the Everydayers Club. All right. It's just about every day that, it is every day that I do this podcast, and I had some concerns. Those concerns are alleviated, and those concerns have really decreased and gone to the point where I'm not even worried anymore, because I looked at Liam Coen yesterday, and though there were smiles and he was intense, man. I could just see him. His mind is spinning. The guys are back in the building. He's ready to get after it. He is absolutely ready to pour into this team. He's ready to see what's next. I think he's excited to see what they've actually been able to elicit or build on from a lot of these players. Trayvon getting his contract extension. Other guys knowing that they're going to have an opportunity to do the things that Parker Washington and Antonio Johnson did last year. The prospect of bringing in rookies that know Bashaw Tutin and, everyone, LaQuint Allen, guys that were day 3 picks, got a chance to compete and play for this team. And they're going to get Travis Hunter, Jordan Lewis, Caleb Ransaw all back. They didn't get any contributions from any of those guys down the stretch. They're all instinctive, all quick-footed, right? And they're all just natural football players. Ask yourself a question. If the Buffalo game was here today again, what was the main thing that was bothering you? Other than the fact that Bashaw Tutin didn't get the ball again after he had 3 straight runs over 15 yards. I know people have been beating me up about that one. But what is the other thing that's been on your mind? The DBs weren't sticky enough, especially they couldn't get off the field. If they get off the field at any point on that last drive, it's ball game because they run that clock out. And then all they got to do is get 1 first down. And the very next week, they go to New England, I believe. I think that's what would have happened. They would have gone to New England. I don't think they would have went to Denver because Denver was the number 1 seed. So, yeah, they would have gone to New England. And Houston would have gone to Denver. I think that's the way it would have went, maybe. But, yeah, that's it, man. They're going to get all of those dudes back. They're going to be better on the back end. They're going to pretty much be the same team on the front end minus Devin Lloyd, but they're going to try to, I guess, they've seen what that looks like with Ventrell Miller. But what you haven't seen is all 3 of those guys back there in the secondary with the addition of these draft picks, with Monteric Brown back in the fold, with another year of Jarian Jones improving and getting better. I actually believe that they're chomping at the bit because they also know they're going to get BT back. And what I mean by back is, I keep reminding people Brian Thomas Jr. had 800 yards last year. It just was a disappointment because it's not what you expected. But if he comes back with a full training camp and then all of the other pieces, a healthy Brenton Strange, a new powerful running back to mix into the fold, right? And Trevor Lawrence with another year of Grant Udinski and Liam Coen being in his pocket and pushing him to be great. I think they have everything to look forward to. And I like the fact that Liam isn't buckling. Liam is not, he doesn't look like somebody that's resting on the laurels of last year. So the concerns for me have been alleviated because I saw a coach who is ready to get going. If you look at those interviews yesterday and tell me you didn't see the same thing, I know you will. Y'all enjoy the weekend. We're getting closer and closer, man. The Jaguars actually are scheduled to make their pick 2 weeks from today. That's if they don't trade up into the first round, because that would have mean they would have made it 2 weeks from yesterday. So as we continue to progress towards the NFL draft, we will continue watching and looking at our prospects. And I know and hope you'll be right there with me because it's your team every day and we don't take you for granted. We'll see you later.